Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a great box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. Today I'm breaking down this past weekend's box office, which was March 3rd to March 5th, the first box office weekend of the very busy week of March. We're also going to break down 2023 domestic and worldwide numbers up to this point, as well as breaking down the movies that are hitting theaters this upcoming week. Welcome back to Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring that bell for notifications notified when my videos drop. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and this show every single week. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below, what did you see in theaters last week? What are you going to see this upcoming week? And what are your thoughts on the Creed 3 success? And maybe how disastrous do you feel Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is? I respond to every comment. So please, in a nice way, respond very nicely. And also, please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. So let's get into this big weekend here at the box office, kicking off the very, as I said, busy, highly anticipated month of March. And we start off with a bang as United Artists comes in first place with Creed 3, which is going to be one of the biggest success stories of the year. $58.3 million for its opening weekend. It's not just the biggest weekend by over $20 million in the Rocky franchise. It's also the biggest opening weekend for any sports film of all time. A lot of people were worried about the box office for Creed 3. Again, these movies have kind of been around that $25 to $35 million range, these last two films. But this is nearly $25 million, even more, $30 million more than the original Creed. And I think a lot of people were nervous because this is the first film without Rocky, Sylvester Stallone in the movie. And I think this is going to be really bad news for Sylvester Stallone moving forward, as at least on the money point of view, and I think the movie point of view is what I think Irwin Winkler could be in the right, because this is a huge success for Michael B. Jordan, a monstrous win for him, obviously as the lead of this franchise basically moving forward, but also making his directorial debut. Another huge win for Jonathan Majors, who I do believe was a big reason why also people checked out this movie. But again, without Stallone, without Rocky, this is a major success. Obviously, for the sports film genre, but even bigger, this is a monstrous success for the Rocky franchise, which has been a really sustainable franchise for the last 40, 50 years, but now has finally hit new levels and definitely confirms that this franchise will really continue on moving forward past Creed 3. So a huge win all the way around. So we'll see how that affects Stallone and this franchise moving forward. In second place, in its third weekend, is Disney's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, dropping another 60% this weekend. $12.8 million for the 3-day. It's overall now up to $187.1 for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. These are just not good numbers right now for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Again, they can say all they want that this was the biggest, and it was the biggest opening weekend of the trilogy. But now it's going to be fighting really hard. We'll talk about the worldwide numbers in just a second, to hang around with those numbers of both first two Ant-Man films. So there's more competition coming, including even from the superhero genre this month. This could be a really rough start to the year, and it really is already for the MCU. It only has 3 films hitting theaters. They've already pushed back some movies and shows, as the franchise has really been in a big downturn the last couple of years. With only 3 movies and 2 shows coming out this year. This is definitely not a good way to start, I think, on the screen and behind the scenes for this movie. In third place, in its second weekend, is Universal's Cocaine Bear, dropping 52% this weekend, 11.1 million, 41 million domestically. It actually gained nearly 40 theaters this past weekend. Again, these are solid numbers for Cocaine Bear. I think this movie, very similar to all the Universal films, will be a 17-day release. So it will be hitting PVOD very, very soon. In the next week, it should be on PVOD. So we'll see if it gets a little bump with more people checking out in theaters before it hits streaming. But again, this is going to be a very successful movie for Universal. Not a big budget, but also it's probably going to dominate the PVOD charts of people who have been waiting to see this at their home. So we'll see how Cocaine Bear does at home, but still very solid numbers for Elizabeth Banks and Cocaine Bear and Universal. Now we have 2 other films that are very interesting, kicking finally Avatar: The Way of Water out of the top 5 this weekend. Only the second time in its 12-week run it's been outside of the top 5. At number 4 is another Demon Slayer movie, getting to number 4. This is from Crunchyroll, getting $10.1 million this weekend in theaters. It was only in 1,700 theaters. So it was making around $5,000 a theater, 5,700 a theater. We've seen really since the pandemic that these these Demon Slayer and anime films that have really taken over, obviously, the United States in popularity, continues to show how beneficial they are in the box office. We've seen multiple anime films, especially Demon Slayer, since the pandemic that have gotten people into the movie theaters. So this is a great news, obviously, for Japan, that these films have just really translated over to the States. 10 million in under 2,000 theaters is really good numbers for Demon Slayer. We'll see how that does at the box office. Its second weekend, if it takes a big dip or not, but great start for them as well. And finishing off the number 5 in its second weekend is the film from Lionsgate that purchased this, the conservative religious film Jesus Revolution. 8.4 in its second weekend, dropping 47%. That's also gained 100 theaters, so now it's in 2,500 theaters this past weekend. 30.3, just amazing numbers for Jesus Revolution. These two films are films that normally a couple years ago you just wouldn't see in the box office top 5, but times have changed, and the people with particular interest, anime, religion as well, these are the people that are actually going to see movies at the box office right now. And this film has been very successful, a huge win for Lionsgate for purchasing this film. Most of these films are under the Fathom Events umbrella, but Lionsgate purchased the film. It's a big win for them. When we look right now, sitting at the domestic charts, the only $100 million film plus this year has, of course, been Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Again, 184 for them. So you'd think they would be beyond 200 in 3 weekends. This is a very disappointing start for them. As we've always talked about, the same usual top 10, except Megan's still $6 million short of $100 million. Won't get there. But Creed enters the chart now at number 4 after its opening weekend and the Monday number. It's up to 62.6 in its 4-day. So Creed 3 is on track to possibly get into that $100 million club. Needs $38 million more to get there. So right now it's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania number 1, Megan 2, A Man Called Otto at 3. It's going to get passed by Creed today, actually. Cocaine Bear is at 5, 80 for Brady at 6, Knock at the Cabin at 7, Missing is at 8, Plane at 9, and number 10, jumping into number 10 this past weekend, was Jesus Revolution. When we get into the worldwide numbers this year, Ant-Man and the Wasp is currently sitting at number 3 worldwide, at 420 million worldwide. So 232 internationally, 188 domestically for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So it's currently sitting at number 3 and needs well over $100 million to get into the top 2. These are very low numbers. Usually for the MCU, the lowest they usually are is kind of the mid 700, really the 700 range. I'm not sure it has another $280 million in the tank worldwide. We'll see, but this could be a rough, again, start for the year. We'll keep track of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for the weeks to come. The only other films, United States-wise, Pathan is still number 7. Again, this is an Indian film that was here domestically, was in the top 5 one weekend. That's at number 7. But the only American film in the top 10 is now Creed 3 in its opening weekend. Has made $105.6 million in its opening weekend, so 62 right now domestic, 43 million internationally. It's currently around under $200,000 for passing Pathan. So Creed 3 should be maybe hitting the top 5 worldwide when I talk to you guys next time here on the channel. But that's, again, very good numbers for Creed 3. And again, a sports film best and a Rocky franchise best as well. So this weekend, the second weekend of March here at the box office, a couple of films are hitting theaters this weekend. The biggest of is Paramount's Scream 6, which is getting very good reviews. In my screening on Thursday, it's completely sold out. So it seems like there's a lot of buzz for the next entry into the Scream franchise, a very successful film for this franchise just last year in January. So we'll see how that does. Also, 65 hits theaters as well, the new film with Adam Driver that's being written and directed by the guys behind A Quiet Place and produced by Sam Raimi. That also hits. And then the Woody Harrelson comedy Champions also hits theaters limited this upcoming weekend. So this is past weekend's box office. What are your thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? What are your thoughts on Creed 3? More videos here on the channel, including tomorrow, I'll get my reviews of Mandalorian, Thursday Bad Batch, as well as Thursday night Scream 6 review. So more videos coming to the channel. I'll see you guys soon.